Hi, am I speaking with Fabian?
Yes.
This is Sarah calling from Serenity Massage Spa. I'm reaching out to remind you about your upcoming massage appointment. Your appointment for a relaxation massage with Andreas is scheduled for Saturday, July 19th from 10 o'clock to 10:45 in the morning. Does that time still work for you?
Yes, this is good.
Great! We look forward to seeing you then. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No.
Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you at your appointment.
This voice agent calls customers and reminds them of appointments. Businesses lose over $20,000 a year to people booking their services but not showing up. That is why this voice agent could reduce that loss by over 80%. Each call costs just a few cents, could save any business hundreds of dollars. Today I'll show you exactly and step by step on how to build this AI voice agent, even if you've never built something like that before. If you want to skip the setup and get this AI voice agent running instantly, you can grab my pre-built templates. It's available inside my AI automation and agent template subscriptions, where you find a growing library of automations and AI agent templates. Inside it, you will also find another AI voice agent that can take calls from customers and book their appointments into your calendar. You can get free access to this document that contains all the resources and links we will be using by clicking the first link in the description below this video.
Just click on the first link below this video. Then you just enter your name and your best email. Check this box, click on Get Access. Then you will be presented with a special offer to get the growing library of AI agented automations for a discount while your setup resources were sent to your inbox. It could take a few minutes for the email to appear. Now make sure to also check your promotions tab or spam folder. Then drag it to primary, click on yes to receive future messages, and then you can open that, and here you find your download resources with the setup document and all other resources for any other video I ever published. And there you just go to the corresponding video and then click on that, and then here is your document.
Stick around till the end because I'll break down exactly how much running this AI voice agent costs. Our first step is to set up an account on the automation platform we will be using. It's called n8n. There you can click on Get Started and then sign up for a free 14-day trial. Once you're logged in, you will be directed to this overview, and there you click on Create a Workflow. And now we could start building and adding and connecting different tools together. So here I've already prepared 2 blocks of this AI voice agents we will be building. The first is about getting the contact information and conducting the call, and the second one is storing the information from the call. And the first thing we add, let's right click here and click on Add a Note, and we will type in Schedule Trigger. So we want our voice agent to check every day at 6 p.m. So this is where you decide when should the people be called. So usually it makes sense in the evening. People are home from work usually, but you could change this whatever you want. So at 6 p.m. it checks my calendar, and everyone that has appointment for tomorrow will be reminded. So, and that's it. And there we also already have our first module. Click on Save because there is no automatic saving. You can also rename this to AI voice call reminder or whatever you want. Now the next step is it should check my calendar. So I go to my Google Calendar. I've already prepared this, so you could even use a voice agent that books appointments with customers so people can call it and book appointments. And this is what I did. And then here you see I have 2 appointments for tomorrow scheduled as an example. So make sure in your Google Calendar you have appointments within the next 24 hours. And then we can go on here on the plus sign and we go to Calendar, type in Calendar and select Google Calendar. And we want to have get many events. This gets us all events from the calendar. Here you just connect your Google account, click on sign in with Google, sign up to the same account where your Google Calendar is in. I have this one here. Continue, and that's it. Next, I need to select my calendar. I want to switch on return all. Okay, and then we have here, we need to define which time frame should be searched for new appointments. So remember, our voice agent runs every day 6 p.m. And then it basically asks which appointments are happening tomorrow. So here you see the first value is 6 hours from now. And then the second one is this one. So like 6 hours in advance and 30 hours in advance. So it finds any appointments tomorrow and it calls the people right now. So it's 6 p.m. Every person that has an appointment between this time frame, it calls that person. Let's click on execute step. And here you see, okay, the table, it returns one event. We want to extract this information. And we need to put it in a proper format so we can then process it with our voice calling tool. And this is what we use an AI agent node for, this. And here we need to select define below. Let's go there. First, what you need to do, we need to put in the prompt user message. That's usually just basically what the input is for the AI agent. You see, if you copy that, paste that, this just gives it the start time, end time, and the booking information, right? So this is green. If it is not green, you could just get it directly from here. So here is start, and then this is that. Just drag it in here. And that's how you can get these values. And then we need to add properties, system message. So this is where we define a specific instructions. What should it do with this input that it gets? And this is what we define here. Let's paste this in here. Go to expressions, make it larger. So we go quickly over it. So it extracts the appointment details from the user message. That's what we have set here. And to do this and give us the specific format we need to switch require specific output format. This is required for our voice agent module, which we will set up in the next step, which will call these people. So click on this plus sign here, and then click on structured output parser. And here you switch this to define using JSON schema. And there we go back to my document, and you just need to select this and paste it in here. And this gives it just an example of what structure I need as an output. Click save, and let's drag it on here. One more thing I need is the chat model. This is what makes the AI agent come to life and gives it the artificial intelligence ability. I will use OpenAI. Now to use OpenAI, you need to click on create new credential. And here you need to set up an OpenAI account if you don't already have one. So go to platform.openai.com. You can sign up with the same information that you have for ChatGPT. Then you click here on settings. The first thing you need to add is some credits. However, using it is very cheap, and you will get the total cost breakdown at the end of the video. So you could add like $5, and this is enough to last you a long time. And there we go to API keys. Click on create new key, just give it away a name. It doesn't really matter what the name is. It's just for you to identify all your API keys later. So we'll just call it like that. Select default project, create secret, copy that key, go back, paste this in here, and that's all we need. Click save, and it's done. Now here we want to use GPT-4o. This is getting us good results, and that's all we need. Now we can double click it and click on execute step. And there you see the output. It extracted, and now we can use it for our voice agent. So it has the person's name, the email, and the phone number. And that's what we want. So let's go back, click save. Now we can get to the exciting part, connecting our voice agent. We use HTTP request. This is always the tool we use, or the module we use when we connect a service or an application that doesn't have a direct integration. For you see, Google Calendar had a direct integration, but our voice agent platform does not. That's why we use HTTP request. So I can just name it voice call. And now let's go to the top here, and this is the voice agent platform we will use called Retell AI. So you can sign up for a free account. Here, try for free. And then you will be directed to this dashboard. There you even have a few free credits, so you can use the voice agent and test it out. What we do first, so here under agents, click on create a voice agent. And we use the single prompt agent here and click on start from blank and then click on create. And now here you can set a few things. You can set the AI model that it will be used to generate the responses. I would leave it at GPT 4.1. Then you can select the voice. I could go here, I could select this one. I can listen to it. And then click on use voice. And then it will be saved here. Here you can set the language, and there we need to also enter a system prompt. So similar to our AI agent that had a system instructions, we also need to tell this voice agent, hey, what is your task? What should you do? I've prepared this for you already here in this part, Retell AI agent system instructions. There is this one, copy the entire thing and paste it in here. Now let's briefly go through the system instructions so you understand how it works, and you can modify it for your specific business use case. Identity. This is where we tell the voice agent, this is who you are, this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do. You are Sarah, an AI-powered voice assistant for a massage spa center, right? You remind customers of upcoming appointments. This needs to be modified for your specific business. You do not reschedule or cancel appointments, but you can transfer a call to a human representative. And to transfer the call, we need to add this function called call transfer. There you can put in the number like of your human receptionist that will then take the calls and modify the appointments of the customers if required. Click save. And that's it. Now this is how should it communicate. Then we have the conversation flow, what should happen, right, if the person is not available. And it has all the details like the start time of the appointment, the reason, like it's a massage, what type of massage is it, the name of the person. It gets it all from our workflow here, which we'll continue to set up in the next part, and so on. And what it can also do, it can end the call if it needs to, or if the call is complete, if the person has confirmed the appointment. So we just click on end call, click save. And you can even add like knowledge files, like give it more information about your business or whatever you want, scripts for calls, anything. But we don't really need any of that. The only thing we will also, and here at the bottom, what we want is the AI initiates. So the AI is calling, right? So, and it should begin with a dynamic message. So we have defined this already here, how it should talk. Hey, hi, am I speaking with? This is the welcome message. And then here on the right, we click on publish. We can give it a name. Let's just call it demo. Voice agent reminder. Now we will select the phone number in another step, but for now let's leave this like that. Okay. And now let's go back to our workflow. Now we need to connect it. First we need to select post, and then we need the URL. And we get this here from that part. So this is the URL we need. Paste it in here. Now authentication, we need generic credential type. Here we select generic credential type, and there we select custom auth. Click on create new, and here we just save it. We don't need to put in anything here. And here we go and click on send headers, and we add another parameter here. And then we need to copy and paste these values. First is authorization. Then comes this expression, bearer and API key. So from retail, we need to get the API key. So let's go back here. Let's go to keys. API keys, we can click on add an API key. Just give it a name. And then click create. Okay. Cannot use numbers or special signs. Okay, good, now it worked. Then copy the key. Paste it in here. Make sure bearer and the space is on the left of the API key. Then let's continue with that part. Content type and application JSON. And then we need to select send body using JSON. And this is where we send the call details. So copy that, paste this in here, make it larger. And there you see, there are already variables that are filled in. So this is the number it should call. You see it on the right. This is the person. This is the reason for calling. Like it's a massage between this person and that person. This is the start time. This is the end time of the massage. Now there are two values we need to enter. The voice agent phone number and the voice agent ID. Let's first get the ID. Go back to agents. Let's go to our voice agent here. Let's actually rename it. I call it demo agent voice reminder. And then we need to go here. This is where they need to copy. This is the agent ID. Paste this in here. And now we need the phone number. So let's go back here and click on phone numbers. And here, if you're brand new, you don't have a phone number connected. So you need to click on plus sign. There are two ways to add a phone number. You can buy it directly from Retell AI, or you can connect it to another phone number provider. So buying a phone number is easier, but technically, but more scalable is connecting it, for example, to a platform like Twilio. So this is Twilio, which allows you to handle calls at scales and basically manage them a little bit more effectively than if you would do it all on Retell. However, if you want a simple route, you can just buy a phone number and try it because it only costs $2 a month. However, I will show you this part, connecting a phone number via SAP trunking, that's what it's called, to a Twilio. And on Twilio, you can also sign up for a free trial account, and then you get free credits here at the top. And this is where you can then use the credits to buy a phone number, so you don't have to actually pay during this testing phase. So you click on not active numbers. Sometimes you already have a number in your trial account, but I will just go and buy a number so you see how the process works. So what I want is a local phone number for my location, right? Because I'm calling myself here on my mobile phone then in Germany. So I want a German phone number. And when you want a local phone number, then I'm in Germany or in this country here, I need to find it from the exact location, the town I live in, because they verify if I actually live there. So I need to enter the prefix or the area code, click on search, and then it will give me number options. And then I can just buy one, click on buy, click on next. I need to select my business. So they have a few steps to verify you are a legit business and you're not misusing their platform. And then you need to assign an approved bundle. And this is where you need to provide details and documents that you have a valid business. Now it's a simple process that tells you exactly what to do, and you can just complete this if you want to, or you could even try if you could use an US phone number or your trial phone number, and you may not need this regulatory bundle. And then I need to assign the address. This is something that I've also entered before, and they will ask you to do this, and then I can buy that. So I have a verified business, a verified location, and then I can go and buy the phone number. And then it's in my active numbers. We have the new phone number I've just purchased, which is this one at the bottom here. Now we need to connect it to Retell. Now there is a few technical steps, but they have a really good guide to do this. So here I've linked it here, and we will just complete this guide because it's really good. So first, what we need to do, create elastic SIP trunking. So just copy that. And this needs to be done here in Twilio. Click on this, paste this in here, and just click on this Elastic SAP dashboard. And there we need to go and first create such a trunk. So we also find this here under Manage Trunks. Click on Create a new SAP trunk. Now you can give it any name you want. It doesn't really matter. So I will just call it Demo Voice Agent Reminder. Create. Now here, what we need to turn on is transfer and enable this. Click Save. You see this here is the first step. Then we need to set up termination. So we need to click on termination here. Okay. Then here we need to enter a termination SIP. Now this can be anything you want. So you can invent this yourself. And what we also need is access control lists and create credentials. So let's first go in here, create credentials. Here you give it a name. Again, I just call it Voice Agent. The name doesn't matter. Test. The username also doesn't matter. Can be anything. The password, you can invent this as well. So I will just use my password generator here. Password generator generates me a password. Paste it in here. However, you want to save it somewhere because we need this later. So click on Create. So I will just briefly save it in here. So my username was Fabian777. My password was this. Let's see. Next we need to create this part, access control list. Okay. Let's click on the plus sign, and there you would just enter the specific values here. So you would enter this ACL1, and then we have the network address. And then we have the network address. You see here, we would just need to basically type in the same stuff that they list here. I've already prepared this for you, so you can just copy and paste it. Paste this, and this needs to be selected to 1, as you see. And then you just click on Create ACL. And we do this again. This time we just have ACL2. The network address is this. Again, this goes to 1. Create ACL. Okay, now we are there. Set up origination. Well, this is only for inbound calls, so only if you accept calls, but I would also set this up if you want to do this, use this number later for accepting calls, right? Just go to origination here. And you just need to copy that part. Add a new origination URI, just paste this in here. Click on add. And that's it. And the final step that we have is here, move numbers to Elastic SAP trunking. Okay, so here you just go to numbers, and this is where you add the number you have just purchased. So add existing number. The number I've purchased was this one. Click on add selected number. And that's it. Now I can import the number to Retell. So now let's switch over to Retell. So now we have the phone number we need to enter. And let's grab the entire phone number with the country code, the plus sign. in here. Now we need the termination URI. This is what we have set up before, right? So let's go in here. Let's go back to termination. So we need this. And the second part of that as well. Copy paste this. Now comes the username that we have created. And the password. Password. And that's it. Click Save. Now we can select, okay, what voice agent do we want? And I want the one I have just created. So, and that's it. Now, normally, right there, before you can make an outbound call and test it, you need to verify your retail account, your identity. You see here, when I zoom in, I took a screenshot so you can see this. Verify your identity to make outbound calls. So this is what I had to do. This is very simple. You will be prompted to take pictures of your ID or passport and then take a picture of yourself, and then this will be verified, and then you can make outbound calls like that. Now, one more thing, if you are on the free trial account on Twilio, to make outbound calls, you need to go to verified caller ID, and there you need to enter the phone number that this voice agent will call. So I would need to enter this number of this in here with the country code, and then verify this first, and then this can be used as a testing. But this is only required for a trial account. If you have upgraded your account to a normal Twilio account, then you don't need this. Then the voice agent can call any number of any customer automatically, and you don't need to add it here before. We can go back, because what we need actually, we need to get our number here. This number we have just connected. Let's go back in here, and now we can add it here. So no space. And now I need to make a test call. So I just click on execute step, and then it should call me on my phone, because this is my number, that appointment. So let's click execute step, and it is ringing, as you can see here. So the process works, and I can take it.
This is Sarah calling from Serenity Massage Spa. I'm reaching out to remind you about your upcoming massage appointment.
You see it works. So the phone number is connected, the voice agent is connected to my workflow, and with that we can close that, we can close Twilio, and we can focus on building the rest of the workflow. And the final step of this block is to record the details of the person that was called and whether the call was conducted. And to manage this, we just use a simple Google Sheet as a database. Now you could connect anything you want here. And I want to have append to row in sheet, so it should add a new row with the customer details. And I've already prepared a template of this Google Sheet for you. Here, let's actually zoom out a little bit. Click on that, make a copy. Let's give this also a unique name. And there you see this is all the details we want to save. And to do this, we need to actually first go here, connect your Google account, make sure it's the same account that this Google Sheet is in. Click here on sign in with Google. Continue. And now this Google Sheet should show up. Yes, it does. And there it should show call log. Now it will get all the columns, and now we can start. Call ID, you save it in here. It's important to call date. So we just type in first let's switch this to expressions. 2 curly brackets, and then we select now. Then the name of the person that was called. So we get those details from our agent. The name, the phone number, email, the description, the appointment time. We don't need that. in here called, we just type in yes. Click execute step. And then it will save that into the sheet. And with that, the top workflow is complete. Now we want to process the call. We want to get the information. Hey, did the person confirm the call, right? And we want to also know, based on a look in my Google Sheet, hey, was the call successful? Like, did the person pick up? What happened? And to do this, we need to add another node here. And in this case, we add a webhook. We select post, and that's it. Let's drag it in here. And now this will be triggered with our AI agent. So whenever something happens in our AI agent, it can trigger a webhook. So let's go into the agent we have built, because there is a field where you can enter the webhook. Webhook settings. And this is where we paste it. Now, as you see here, this is the test webhook that we use during the testing process. Once we have completed the testing, we will switch to production, and we will then place the production webhook here. But for now, we leave the test webhook. So let's just publish again. Great, so now this is connected. Now let's trigger it again. So I need to call myself again. Execute this. And when you hear it ringing, you can execute. Actually, not this one, but we go in here and click on listen for test event. Then I take it. Then you see the webhook is also triggered, but this doesn't matter for us. Now, before you cancel the call, click on listen for test event, because now it triggers basically anything that happens on the call, right? When you pick up the call or when you cancel the call, anything happens. So, and you get all the details about the phone call here. Because what we want to do now is, hey, we want to check, did the person actually pick up, right? What happened? And to do this, we use an if node. So let's go to if. And there we can say, hey, is this condition fulfilled? Yes or no? Now the first condition, I've already prepared this here. I think it's at the bottom somewhere. This one, call success, right? Was the call a success? Meaning, did the person pick up the call? So now I need to set the condition. So let's scroll through what the webhook has given me. Now we have the call has ended. This means, well, the call has ended, the call was conducted, but I also want to know, okay, was the call ended because the user ended it or because the agent ended it? So I need to scroll to the bottom a little bit. And there I see disconnection reason, right? And this is user hang up. So user hang up, well, this means the call was taken, right? So in this case, that's enough for me. So if the user hang up, sure, I don't know, did the user hang up before he confirmed the appointment, right? But for me, that's enough. I just want to set up as simple as possible. You can modify this if you want. So that's one reason. The other reason that can happen, or the agent hang up, right? And usually the agent hang up. So because the agent can also end the call. And this is usually stored in this one. So when the agent hangs up, then it will write this value here. Click on save. Let's do another call and then let the agent hang up. And before the agent hangs up, I need to click on listen for test event. So I take the call. Now you see the agent hang up, right? And this also means the call was a success. And now you see agent. Okay, it's actually not that. We see, okay, this is the disconnection reason. Actually, must also be in here. So either the agent hang up or the user hang up, which we had before. If one of these happens, then it would be a success. So then the call was a success. If it's not, right, then I could check another if node. Click on execute previous nodes, but we have no items here. Here we have this one. So the disconnection reason then equals dial no answer. So we call it no answer, drag it to the bottom here, but we will continue here because what I want next, I want to know, okay, did the person confirm the appointment? Click on AI again, open AI and message a model, because the cool part we also get from our webhook is we get a transcript of the entire call and that we can analyze. Now here we use the same OpenAI account that we have connected before here. And here select a very cheap model, some mini model here, GPT-4.1 mini, which is very cheap. And now we have the prompt. And this should be very simple, right? Analyze the transcript and find out if the user confirmed the appointment. Simply return a yes or a no. Simply return a yes or a no. And now we click on execute step. And now you see this is the content, this is the response of the agent, and it said yes, based on the analysis of this transcript here, the user confirmed the appointment. Good. Because now I can save that into the Google Sheet, right? I can just duplicate this, open that, call successful. I need to change this now to update row here. Now the column to match on is the call ID. Now the call ID should come from the webhook. Here, you see that? Drag it in here. Now we don't need these here, but we also don't need that. But I want to save is, okay, was the appointment confirmed, right? That's what I want. And this is that response. Let's see, what else do I want? I can get the call status. So the call status is just what happened, right? Who did end the call? And you see we find it here at the bottom, call status. And then we can also store the transcript of the call. That's at the top here. Transcript. Next, we have the duration. That's at the bottom. Here we have the duration in seconds. And finally, I want to record the costs of it. Now the costs here, I have created a formula for you. So that's the cost of the call. Now switch this to expression. Now in my case, it costs a total of 12 cents for a 39-second call. However, you see, a retail only cost me 7 cents. So the other cost comes from Twilio. Go to monitor, go to logs, go to calls. And there you see this was the last call. And there you see the cost. It cost me 3 cents, 3.8 cents for this almost 40-second call. So just grab this, paste it in any AI tool and let it tell you, okay, what's the cost per minute? Now I can paste this value in here. So sometimes this cost can vary. So you need to calculate this yourself. And now click execute step. And now we see here all the data of the call, the application confirmed, yes, status, the agent hang up, the transcript, the duration, the cost. Now let's go back. And the only thing left to set up is this, right? We also want to record if the person did not pick up the phone. So we just use actually the same Google Sheet node, just duplicate it, connect it here. So let's go on here. Now to set this final node up, I need to trigger the call again, but this time I don't pick up. So go in there, execute step. Now while it is calling, I will have to click listen for test event. Now the only thing you need to make sure is that this webhook is listening until the call is ended. Sometimes it could happen that the webhook stops listening and then you need to activate it again. And now you see it has ended and it was recorded. Now, here you will see, now it will go to the false branch, right? False branch. Good, that's what I want. And it did not answer, right? And we see here, dial, no answer. Perfect. This goes to the true branch. It did not answer. And now we can set this up. So just type in no answer. And what I want to save is just the call status. I don't have duration, I don't have costs. So that's just call status. That's the only thing that I want to save. Because now I see, okay, this person does not answer. So I could set up a follow-up right after that. Okay, after some time, call this person again. And the only thing before I turn this to active, I need to switch to production URL webhook and add this agent, replace this webhook with the production webhook. And then click on publish. Click publish. And then go back. So now every day, right, at 6 p.m., it will check my calendar and call everyone that has an appointment scheduled for the next day. Now let's talk about the cost. How much does it cost me to run this voice agent? The first thing I need to set is my Twilio rate. So we've already calculated this, like it costs me per minute this 5.7 cents. So I need to grab this, paste this in here, and click on update pricing, because different countries have different rates for Twilio. So here we have the different services we're using, like Retell, Twilio, phone number, $1.15 a month, and Twilio and Retell is charged per minute. So, and I have like set the average call is around 30 seconds long. This is how I came up with these values. So for 100 calls a month, it costs me a total of just $9.75 for 100 call reminders a month. And that's just around 10 cents per call. Now for 300 calls, that's like 10 call reminders a day. It costs me just $26.95. So that's just 9 cents per call. And for 1,000 calls, it costs me just $78 a month to conduct these calls automatically, fully automated. It just takes 10 cents per call to recover appointments that your customers might have missed if you didn't have this reminder service. If you want to see more videos like this where I show you how to build these highly effective and profitable AI-powered systems, even as a total beginner without any technical background, make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos.